Correct. So again, the apostles asked Jesus in Luke 21:7, Rabbi, when will these events take place? And what sign will show that they are about to happen? Now, it's fruitless to put dates on this situation. I mean, if we know a little bit of history, and I don't know much, but if you know your history, I mean, again, ups and downs. I have a couple of coins here that people can see from the period. And basically, I just want to show people that they have an inscription. So the first one you see here, the first coin there, is a coin that was struck in 69 AD, just before the destruction of the temple. And it says, to the redemption of Zion, right? And then you have another coin, and this is post-destruction of the temple, on the right of the screen of people online. And guess what? That says year 1 of the redemption of Israel. Now, why? Because around 130 AD or so, a messianic claimant, a person who people saw as a messiah, rose up. He got some military power, he got some weapons, and he beat a couple of Romans. And for a time, he was installed as the Messiah. Oh, great, God has finally answered all our prayers. And they had enough time to mint coins, to struck coins. And so you have a vine leaf on tendril, and it says year 1 of the redemption of Israel. Again, don't be a date setter. Okay, so Jesus says something very interesting here. Some translations, by the way, that my wife hates, say, from now you will see the Son of Man. So that's weird translation, but they do. There's a whole bunch that have it there. I think the point is the immediacy of it, right? So Jesus, by the way, and this might surprise a lot of people, especially visitors, Jesus did not know certain things, folks. I'm sorry to tell you that online, but he did not know many things, actually. And this was one of them. He didn't know when he was coming back. He was asked on 2 occasions that we know of. He didn't know, Mark 13:32 and Acts 1:7. He didn't know. So, nonetheless, as a God of Israel prophet, the prophet, he's talking as a prophet. All throughout the Old Testament, the prophets talk about it's at hand, it's coming soon, coming to theaters near you, as I always think. So you have that in Zephaniah, Ezekiel, Obadiah. All the minor prophets have this language of immediacy, right? The gospel that we preach, we're supposed to preach the gospel about the kingdom with an immediacy, right? Today is the day of salvation, right? So we're supposed to be door knockers, I guess, like JWs or other groups. So there's an immediate. Paul didn't know as well. And Paul keeps saying, Paul thought that it was coming during his lifetime. All the apostles thought that. All the prophets thought that. Jesus, guess what? Thought that. Look, there are signposts to when we get there. And again, next Sunday we'll look at the signposts in Luke 21, which is the same as Matthew 20. There are signposts. But to say that we're in the... If you want to talk about the immediacy of preaching the gospel about that, that's good, right? That we should do, because the kingdom can come, I guess, in 2 ways. Okay, the kingdom of God is coming in this way, the biblical way. You need signposts. There is a time. It takes time, etc. And it can also come tonight for me, if God forbid something happens. You know what I'm saying? So. That's why it's always immediate, or it should be. As mortals, I don't know my time here, you don't know yours, so it can come that way, so you better get busy, or obviously with the signs of the times and so on. At the restoration, the rebirth, right, of all things, when the Son of Man is seated on the throne of his glory. By the way, what's that? So, two questions for you.
David.
Right, and where is it?
Jerusalem will be on earth.
Jerusalem. Thank you. So what is this throne of the Son of Man, and where is it? That's some good questions to ask people out there.
Jesus probably telescopes AD 70 and the end of the age in a manner reminiscent of the prophets, who frequently looked at the end of the age through more immediate historical events.
To be fair, there have been and continue to be and will continue to be for I don't know when what I call historical rehearsals, if you will. So you could say, I guess, that 70 AD, the destruction of the temple, all that nasty stuff, was one of those rehearsals when yes, the temple was destroyed as Jesus foresaw, but obviously the rest didn't come through. So, but guess what? The first temple was destroyed too. And guess what? There are prophecies before that first temple was destroyed that fit very snugly to what happened in, when was it, 587 BC, when the Solomon's temple was first destroyed. So you got Micah 3:12, you got Jeremiah chapter 7, to Micah 3:12, Jeremiah 7 to 11 chapters, Isaiah chapter 29. So all written before Solomon's temple was destroyed, but language that approximates to that first temple destruction as well.